We should read downstairs with you. And Katie. Ever.
Oh, nothing.
Oh. Most beautiful smile on his. He just glowed. And
John?
Yeah, we'll have to.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh my God. I'm so
Hi, everybody. If you'd be so kind as to find your seats now. Hello. Welcome, welcome. I want to invite everyone to please find a seat now, and we'll begin the ceremony. I know. Lots of people happy to see each other. Wow. Everyone take a breath. How about we do that? Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Reverend Frank, and on behalf of Elly's family, Krista and Amanda, her partner Shay, I want to welcome everybody here for this celebration, and indeed it's a celebration of life for Elly Morrison. And such a celebration, right? The hats alone make it a celebration. These are great. Yay. And for today, by the way, just one quick logistics announcement, and then we'll get going here. The bathrooms are down that hall. That's the big one. There's also a lot of food and coffee and drinks. And by the way, we haven't scheduled a break. So there's going to be an initial, some prayers and some poems and a slideshow, and then we'll go into a time of an open mic, so people will have a chance to share their memories and their, their love and their hearts.
I can't. Now he's talking. What?
And we'll have some people on Zoom as well, from around the world, actually. And so anytime during that, if you feel like you want to get up or need to take a break, please do. Otherwise, we're just going to roll right through and be in celebration mode, okay? All right, we'll start with music.
This is a song that these ladies and one more who couldn't be here today, that we were singing last spring for Elly. We were working on it for another event, and we went and sang it to her several times.
I don't know.
I pray you'll be my eyes and watch her where she goes and help her to be wise.
I can only listen to them.
Help me to let go. Every mother's prayer, every child knows. Lead her to a place, guide her with your grace, to a place where she'll be safe. I pray she finds your light and holds it in her heart as darkness falls each night. Remind her where you are. Every mother's prayer, every child knows. Lead her to a place, guide her with your grace, to a place where she'll be safe, a place where pain and sorrow will be ended, and every heart that's broken will be mended. children, reaching out to touch you, reaching to the sky. I pray she finds your light. I pray she finds your light. And holds it in her heart. And holds it in her heart. As darkness falls each night. As darkness falls each night. Remind her where you are. Every mother's prayer. Every mother's prayer. Every child knows. Need to find a place. Guide her with your grace to a place where she'll be safe. Lead her to a place. Guide her with your grace to a place where she'll be safe.
So take a breath. We now invoke the spirit of peace and the love of the divine that is present in us, and it lives through us, and it is blessing everyone in this room. The love and generosity of God gifts us with all of our days. We commend to God now our loved one, Elly, who has passed from our sight. We cherish the memory of Elly and feel her continued love and presence in our lives through the gifts of her spirit and through the presence of her caring family, through the presence of her friends. Elly now rests in the peace and the comfort of the divine, where she no longer experiences strife or suffering, nor the pain or any sorrow of the life on earth. She now rests in the fullness of love. And so we are grateful as she rests in God's loving embrace and in eternal peace. And we acknowledge that same love in our hearts for Elly and in and for her family and for and with each other, for all of us in this prayer. And so it is. Amen.
Deep peace of the running wave to deep peace of the flowing air to deep peace of the quiet earth to deep peace of the shining stars to you, deep peace of the gentle night to you. Moon and stars pour their healing light on you.
and resting in that place of peace. Perhaps close your eyes now. We'll just take a moment to center ourselves. And for a meditation, I want to share with you a poem that has been written by what we've called Unity's Poet Laureate, James Dillard Freeman. And it's a meditation poem called The Traveler. She has put on invisibility, dear Lord. I cannot see, but this I know. Although the road ascends and passes from my sight, that there will be no night, that you will take her gently by the hand and lead her on along the road of life that never ends, and she will find it is not death but dawn. I do not doubt that you are there as here, and you will hold her dear. Our life did not begin with birth, and it is not of this earth. And this that we call death, it is no more than the opening and closing of a door. And in your house, how many rooms must be beyond this one where we rest momently? And so I thank you for the faith that frees, the love that knows it cannot lose its own, the love that, looking through the shadow, sees that you and she and I are ever one. So take these words into a moment of silence, to a moment of silence. Divine Presence, I thank you for the faith that frees, the love that knows it cannot lose its own, the love that, looking through the shadows, sees that you and she and I are ever one. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to take a moment before we show... What? Oh, okay. I wanted to take a moment before we start Elly's Life in Picture slideshow to thank everyone for coming today. And it's so nice to see all the hats. Thanks for celebrating Mom that way. She loved wearing hats. So before we get to the photos, Amanda and I would like to thank you for coming today to celebrate our mother, Elly. Okay. We loved her so much. She was a beautiful human being and an incredible person to know. We loved and felt very honored to take care of her in her declining years. And Amanda, thank you so much. She dedicated a large portion of the last years to making sure Mom had a wonderful, peaceful exit into the spirit life, and thank you, my sister. Mom loved, she was a princess. She loved us doting over her, but she always greeted us gorgeous darlings when we walked into the room. She was just so loving, and she was just a pleasure to be around. And thank you all for those. Thank you to all that came to visit her so frequently. She really loved having that company. Okay. A few words about the kind of mother that we had and the kind of person that we grew up with. She was extremely committed to anything she put her mind to. She was a seeker. She would spend hours practicing piano, studying religion, philosophy, metaphysics, ethics, and really the meaning of life. She loved participating in landmark education. The Charleston Hat Ladies, I hope some of you all are out there right now. Toastmasters, she was very involved in Toastmasters here and in Charleston, and she loved the Unity Church. She was a very introspective extrovert. You know, she had those two sides to her, which made her so special. She loved having a core group of female friends. Amanda and I saw growing up that she always felt that women should support women, and she maintained a really strong core group of girlfriends, and she felt that that gives women a sense of well-being and support, and Amanda and I have followed in that vein and have our girl posses and solid girl crews. A lot of Amanda's friends are here today. Thank you. Mom always thought and sought the good in others. She always sought the good in others. She believed in kindness, the power of intuition, positive attitude, ethical behavior, natural and spiritual healing. She avoided negativity and confrontation and always focused on the positive. The only thing I ever saw her get really angry about was war and a certain ex-president. Even when Amanda and I were young, she would just like point her finger and grit her teeth, and we would all just end up laughing about it. I mean, because she just couldn't raise her voice. She was just a very peaceful person, even when Amanda wouldn't get out of bed in the morning for school. That was probably one of the biggest. She said it gave her gray hair. Yeah. I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank Mom for bestowing a strong moral compass and a compassion for others on Amanda and I. We're very lucky to have had her for a mother. And now, her life in pictures.
Hey, Andy. I can't see you, but I think you can see me. You're up now.
What are they saying?
Hi.
Well, do you have the volume up? Put the volume up.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Can you hear me? Hi, I'm here. Can you guys hear me? Yes? Yeah? Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys I'm wearing a... Am I on?
Andy, we can hear you fine.
All right, good. Jeez, okay. I'm wearing this shirt that Elly gave me like 30 years ago from the Maryland Science Center, and it's a Escher print. And I thought Escher was very apropos for Elly because she could always kind of see the, impossible or the just past the, what's on the surface in lots of things. But anyway, I have a poem to read. And it goes like this. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure about you. We are born to manifest the glory of God that is within us so that other people won't feel insecure around you. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Love you, Elly.
Lost the sound. Lost the sound.
Somebody said that into the microphone.
Hildy, we can hear you, so can you?
You can hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Yeah, you ready to go?
Good, okay. All right, here's a poem that Klaus actually would like for everyone to know. He just doesn't feel comfortable reading it himself. He said it is one that he heard when he was a child by his mother. And he was sure that Elly knew it too. When I shall be, wind, gravel, and sea, think of me sometime. Think of our time together when hand in hand we would climb to the highest mountain just to write a single rhyme. And look into each other's eye as the whole universe were there and the world was ours, gentle and fair. Think of me then, remember me when we were happy together. Okay, and here is one of my absolute favorite German poems, and I will read it in German first, and then a modified translation. I found a translation, but I changed it a little bit, so it, I think, applies more to actually Elly. In German, it is from Freiherr von Eichendorff. Es war, als hätte der Himmel die Erde still geküsst, dass sie im Blütenschimmer von ihm nun träumen müsst. Die Luft ging durch die Felder, die Ähren wogten sacht. Es rauschten leis die Wälder, so sternklar war die Nacht. Und meine Seele spannte weit ihre Flügel aus, flog durch die stillen Lande, als flöge sie nach Haus. Sorry, that last line always gets me. Here's the English translation. It was as if the heavens, the earth had softly kissed. Of it she now forever must dream in flower mist. Through fields the air breathes light, the grain so softly swayed. A hush, the forest whispered, so starry clear the night. Her soul stretched wide, its pinions above the moonlit ground, flew through the quiet minions as if it were homeward bound.
That was lovely, Hilda. Thank you.
Thank you.
So while we have the Zoom up, is there anyone else that's Zooming in that wants to share any memories or do a tribute?
I would.
Steve steps
Hey.
on Richard's side, but all
It's good
of
to
us.
see you and Krista.
You do, woohoo!
I wish I was there. And mainly, I just want you to know how valuable Elly is to me and how glad I am to have known her and what she means to me. And I love you guys, and she'll always be with me. And my hat says Life Karma. I love you guys.
Thanks, Steve. I should look at the camera, right? Which one do I look at?
This one here on it. That's what they.
Is there anyone else on Zoom that wants to?
Hey, Amy, can you hear me? It's Margaret.
Okay, everyone, my other name is Amy, for the people around here.
Sorry.
It's okay. It was a secret.
Your little girl name, right? Childhood name. This was absolutely such a beautiful tribute, and I loved every photo, by the way, of this slideshow. And I just want to say your mother, she did always exude peace and serenity and love and warmth and openness and just acceptance. I feel like when you were in her presence, sorry, you could always just be yourself because she was so warm and giving. So thank you for doing such a beautiful job commemorating her. Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. You're just sweet. Anyone else?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Archie Burkell, and I had the pleasure of attracting Elly to the Hat Ladies of Charleston.
Yay!
And I will be posting her picture, one of which you showed, because it was at one of our Easter promenades, on our website with a bio. Of course, it's not the category into which I like posting pictures, because it is called Our Heavenly Hat Sisters. But she is remembered. We are so grateful to learn all that she did, but mostly that she loved hats, because it was what connected us to her. So thank you for making us, our hat sisterhood, feel a part of this beautiful celebration of her life, and when it was here in Charleston as well. So thank you, and I'll let you know when the link is posted.
Thank you so much. Aww. She loved the Hat Ladies. Every gathering. And thanks for letting Richard come to the luncheons, even though that was weird.
Am I still on?
You are still on.
Okay, one very personal. When I read all the things that she was into, numerology being one of them, my real name is Barbara, but basically I pulled Archie out of a hat, and she told me that I tripled, actually quadrupled my power, because now I have 4 vowels in my name, and all the A's in Barbara only counted as 1. So I like that very much. I like feeling powerful, and Elly let me know that that's what I am.
That's great. Good.
And we knew Richard too. He was a character, a very lovable one, and he taught us a thing or two as well.
Thank you. Yeah, Richard is a nut. They're together now. Maybe. She did say that in the line of men in heaven or wherever, waiting for their dance card, that the first dance card she was going to use was for my dad. And I was like, what about Richard? She was like, oh, shit, I didn't even think of it. Isn't that terrible? It's terrible. But thank you for your share.
My pleasure. It's an honor to be here.
Yay, I'm so glad everybody gets to come in a way. Is there anybody else on the Zoom, or did we tap out the Zoom shares? What? There aren't like 100 people on Zoom? I'm very disappointed. Let's see. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Martina's feeling shy. Hi, Martina. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Shall we move on to the next section of the tribute? Hi, Uncle Klaus.
Hello, everyone. I'm not shy, but my English is my son said my English is for runaways. So.
Yeah. Shall we move on to the next section of the delayed?
So I'm glad
Hi, Uncle Klaus.
So, hello.
Oh wait, let's let Martina do.
For some reason, I can't see you, Amanda. Maybe I need to go back. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to mute.
This is like a classic.
So, hey, friends, there's a little delay between when we speak and we hear you. So we're just going to pause for a minute and let it catch up in case Martina or Klaus, you want to speak. We'll just be quiet and give it a second. You can jump in. Maybe not. Nick, they can put in a chat if they want to say something. Is that correct? Okay, so if you do still want to say something.
Thank you. I'll try. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes. Yes, we can. Go ahead.
I'm so glad I can be with you.
They can put in a chat if they want to say something. Is that correct?
Okay.
Okay, so if you do still want to say
thank
something.
you. I'll try. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes. Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. So Germany is far away, so it's long distance.
If they want to say something. Is that correct?
Okay.
Okay, so if you do still want to say something.
Thank you. I'll try.
Mute your YouTube.
You can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, we can. Go ahead. Okay. So Germany is far away, so it's long distance. Oh. Okay, so maybe it's better. Okay, just say a few words. I am very glad to be with you and be with the family. And I know my dad loves this family and love your mom and Bob. And so he bring me to you, and I'm so glad you are in my heart, and I love you all. And it's a pleasure for me to that Amy and Krista take care of her mom and share this, and so I can be there from Germany too. So thank you for making this possible. Love you.
Any takers? All right. Shall we move on? Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us via Zoom. We have some more stuff going on here, some singing and sharing from folks in town, if you want to stay on.
So the mic is open.
Well, if the mic's open, I should say something. I want to talk for my wife and I, we love Elly and Richard. We have been Unity members here for quite some time. We met Elly and Richard here. We met them at the community coffee house. I remember doing a dance to the Hungarian polka with Richard on the violin. I never forgot the stories that Elly told about growing up with World War II going on and the heartache and the mishaps and such. She was a very special woman. You know, what's interesting about my wife and I is that all of our best friends are in the church. We're of like mind. We're into the metaphysical. We're into the next life. And when they ask us, do we believe in reincarnation? We say, nope, and we didn't last lifetime either. But Elly and Richard were a great couple. They always had a smile. Elly was so serene. She was just easy to get along with. She was right there present when you talked with her, paying attention, listening. Yeah. We love you, Elly. We'll see you on the flip side.
Hi, I'm Belle. Elly really personified love. She loved life, and she loved every moment. She was completely 100% present. She loved Richard. She loved this church. And she attracted love to herself. And she brought out the best in people. I know she did in me. And I will always love her.
One of the first persons who ever greeted me at the door when we came in was Elly. And it used to be a game that we used to play between each other, because we would look at each other and say, I see you. And we'd giggle. And we'd hold each other's hand. Elly was love and life distilled. Through millennia, through life, through death. There is no death, there's only Elly. She'll always be with me. And I've started her game myself with my own family. She's beautiful. We're all beautiful. And she was a great part of that.
When I arrived here at the Unity of Bellingham Church, Elly and Richard were just real up front in getting acquainted with myself. And then when Belle and I tied the knot, that just went to exponential rate with these two. Richard always fit the picture of my mind of a mad scientist. Yeah. And Elly, she was just so kind and calm. I thought to myself, whatever she's drinking, I want some of it. You know. Yeah, for sure. And you know, one of the things that Belle and I remember was when they both said they picked up the vibes of both of us and realized we had been together for many, many previous lives. And, you know, that really kind of influenced my thinking about reincarnation a little bit. So, having known that couple, those two, it was a life changer for us. And I'll always honor and remember their presence and the love that they shared with all of us. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Liz, and I'm part of the Calling Birds. We would go visit Elly several times over the last few years, and we would sing. The last time we went to sing, we sang Silent Night in German, and Elly would sing along with us, and it was so, so beautiful. And she told us the story of when she was a child in Germany, that they would go upstairs with their governors, and when they came down, the Christmas tree was all decorated by Mama and Papa, and then they would sit around the tree and sing Stille Nacht. And so, Elly, schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe, I love you.
I was planning to sing. My husband was planning to accompany me. I got the galloping crud, as my grandmother would call it, and now my husband has got the galloping crud. It's a 3-day thing. So he couldn't be here with me. The reason I wanted to sing this song is it's part of my grieving process. That there's always a song that I associate with people. And sometimes it takes a little time for it to come to me after the person dies. And with Elly, it was difficult because, you know, I didn't want to meditate on Rhapsody in Blue all the time, you know. It's really quite intense. I've tried it many times. I like it, but... So I was sitting and meditating, and I love being here because I know this is a place, you guys have been doing it, where I can say, you know, I talk to the dead, and most of the time they talk back. And with Elly, I was just talking to her while I was meditating, which means I wasn't quite fully meditating. And I was just saying, you know, I was just crying. And I heard this song, and it was really Elly talking directly through the song. And I'm going to try to sing it a cappella. And I left the words at home, so I'm going to stop when I forget the words or when I cry, because you can't cry and sing at the same time. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys would all close your eyes and just get into the sound and help me center and help me try to give you the experience I had. Come to me, I will take away your sorrow. Come to me, I will open your tomorrow. Come to me, I will open up your heart. Come to me, we will never be apart. Ah. Come and you will find the inner one you want to find, the inner mind you've waited so long to. Come and you will find the inner mind you want to find, the inner mind you've waited so long for. Come from where you are to here. Oh, it's remove all fears. Let me try that again. Remove all fears. Come from where you are to here. Let your heart be mine. In this moment, let our hearts be one. Come to me, I will take away your sorrow. Come to me, I will open your tomorrow. Come to me, I will open up your heart. Come to me, we will never be apart. Ah. Thank you.
So I'm listening to all these amazing things that people have been saying about Elly and Richard too. He was the nutty professor. Elly was all those things. I loved holding her hand. We both had cold hands, so that was really, we had a bond there. But nobody has talked about what an instigator she was. I got to know her when she moved into the same building that I was in, and she was always calling me up to have tea with her. And basically what we would do is she would tell stories, and then Richard would try to interject his opinion about everything and start taking over the whole conversation. And she would say, "Shut up, Richard." And then we would have more tea. And he always wanted to invite me on their little, we're going to play tennis adventures. And Elly would be behind him shaking her head, "No, you don't want to go do this with us. Don't go, don't go." So I was always like, "Oh yeah, I don't know how to play tennis. I'll teach you." I go, "No, I'm not good at sports." "Oh, everybody is good at sports." He always was like trying to get me in on it. And talk about instigating. So I have this vivid memory of her driving a car, because Richard was pretty crazy driving the car, but Elly got a little crazy too. And one day it was her and Serene in the car together, and I had to seriously jump out of the way because she went ripping into Serene's driveway, and they were on a mission to do something. But that's the spirit I got to know of Elly, and that's the one that I really appreciated. So thank you for that.
I'll go. So I only knew Elly at the very end of her time here on Earth, and the last time I got to see her, we didn't speak, and there was a picture of her just with her eyes, and I just got to be in her presence, and I interpreted that as, and I knew she was a unity person from way back, and what I heard was, you know, I'm glad you're here. I love you. This is great. I just felt this, you know, this welcoming and this inspiration, like, you know, it's so good you're here. Just, you know, almost like passing the baton from that, you know, a generation that was so powerful here, and said, keep it going. And then that last lady spoke. And I realized she was also saying, have a little fun. Instigate a little bit. It's important, but we don't have to take it so serious. And so I loved hearing all these stories, and I was able to sort of, oh, I see what you were saying. And seeing, in the end, just her amazing presence. And people had said this before, but I felt like, you see me. You know, dear, you see me, and I see you. And of course, I went to visit. Of course, like, I'm the minister, so I'm going to go give a blessing. But you know how this goes. Who gets the blessing, right? Yeah, she's potent person. That poem about, don't be afraid of how big you are, how important you are, how brilliant you are, how beautiful, how important it is that you're here doing your life. She exhibited that in a very short time. That's what I took. That's what I took from her.
I'm Helen, and this is my daughter, Evergreen, and she would like to share. Should we bring it down?
She was a very good person, and she was very kind, and she told a lot of good things. And I'd just like to say, she should deserve something very good. And she was very wonderful because she told very cool things, and she said some words that I didn't even know what they meant. And she was very good because she was very kind, and she was a wonderful person.
I used to tell jokes at our talent shows. I loved Elly dearly, both of them. And nobody has mentioned that Elly was one of the chaplains in this church. There was a group of people that were chaplains, that they would go and comfort people that were hurting. And so I saw her when she was actually, she wasn't really conscious, and I visited her, and I would bring her chocolate and stuff, and so I visited her a lot of times, and I've had tea with her, and I tried to teach her the game Quiddler. It's a game, it's like Scrabble with cards, and she really enjoyed that. So we would have a lot of fun together. And then when she started being so kind of lame, I had a recliner that you push a button and it stands you up. That Chuck got me. And so, Chuck was my late husband. Most of you know him. And so I think she still has it. Anyway, but she was delightful. And one of the things she wanted to do before she passed away, she wanted to play the piano at Carnegie Hall. She kept talking about practicing on the piano. That was her major wish in life, was to play the piano at Carnegie Hall. I loved her dearly. And both of them, I don't know if you know this about them, but they were both psychic. And that was fascinating. Richard told me some things that, proved to be true, and it was amazing. But I loved them both dearly. They were, and Russell's story about the Hungarian dancing and him playing the violin, that was hilarious. So I usually tell jokes. I don't know if you need to hear one today. Does anybody want to hear a joke? Okay. I have a new partner in my life, as some of you know. So this is his favorite. This elderly Italian guy is on his deathbed. Calls for his grandson Guido to come in and see him. He says, Guido, I'm going to be dying pretty soon. I want you to have my chrome-plated .38 revolver to remember me by. Guido says, I don't like firearms. I'd rather have your Rolex watch. Grandpa says, one of these days, you're going to be a wealthy businessman, and you're going to have a beautiful home. And someday, you're going to marry a gorgeous woman. And someday, you're going to have babinos. And someday, you're going to go home and find your wife in the bed with another man. What you going to do? Look at your watch and say, time's up?
Okay, another thing we forgot to mention was Elly and Richard were in the choir, and that's how I got to know her pretty well. And she really joined in. She participated in a mass choir event, and we practiced a long time, and we sang the song Deep Peace, the one that was sang today. And during the mass choir, we all these choirs from around the city learned a new song, and we sang it together. And I think there was like 500 people there. And so she was all in. She really was.
Forgot how horrifying it is standing up in front of people. Sorry for my dress. Something accounts for it, but I apologize. No disrespect. I was neighbors with Elly and Richard for several years. We shared a wall. The reference to tennis, frequently I would find myself getting, I'd get entrapped by Richard when he was coming back from hitting tennis balls against the wall at Seaholm High School. And he always wanted to tell me his interesting theories about something. And I couldn't say anything in response except, okay. But I was very fond of both of them. But the story I just wanted to tell was that frequently I would hear Richard and Elly through our wall, them in their living room, me in mine, and I would just hear them laughing. Just laughing, both of them, just sort of hysterically laughing about something. And I always thought that was really nice, so.
I think I know what they were laughing about, or what inspired the laughter. It was probably that wonderful frequency generator. In fact, I think I might have been there laughing with them on one occasion. They just, they were so uplifting and so wonderful to be around. I dearly love them as well. They were so welcoming and kind, and discovered I didn't have anyone from the Christmas holidays and invited me to be part of the family and sharing that with them. I had so much fun with them. I really kind of hung out with them for a while, and Elly and I would indulge Richard in his theories about the virus, and he had some pet theories that everyone got very familiar with over the years. Richard was great at adjusting. He had chiropractic abilities, and you never were quite sure if it was gonna fix something or ruin it. everyone has shared so much, and I'm trying to think what else I can share that hasn't already been said. It's just, Elly was a great buddy, and we used to go out to tea at the place in Fairhaven together, and I hear the word tea, and that was certainly something that was the common bond between us. And I don't know, that's all, but just love. I really feel the same.
I'd like to say one more thing and not sing, and that is we haven't talked about the caregivers involved. Well, Krista did a little bit. May we all have the kind of care when we go that Elly had. I was privileged, I'm privileged to be retired as an end-of-life hospice care, well, not a nurse, I'm a hospice caregiver. And I think I met Elly first, but then I met Amanda because we were on team. And we like to get right at the real meat of the issue at doing night shifts at the very end. That's our that's our niche. It's very challenging work because nighttime is when things happen. So I want to say that burnout is real. And there was no, to do 24-hour shifts, how many people do we need, Amanda, on our team? We need 4 or 5 people to do 24-hour shifts for a week, you know, when you need somebody in case somebody gets sick. Elly had the best care imaginable, and I don't know how. I don't know how Amanda did it. 24/7 without 5 people. But Shay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shay.
My name is Leah, for those of you who don't know me, which is probably everybody but Amanda. I met Elly in Toastmasters. Can you hear me? Oh. I'm going to make crackling noises. Okay. Hi, online. I met Elly at Toastmasters, and it was the first year I was living in Bellingham. And I joined Toastmasters to make friends. And Elly was the table topics master, I think. And there was another gentleman, and it's kind of fuzzy who was asking who questions, but they were yucking it up because table topics is a lot of fun. You speak spontaneously about some subject and make up something, and people usually make a joke. And Elly and this gentleman were speaking German, and I felt like I had found a little bit of home because I'm the child of a German mother as well. But I lost her at a very young age. And seeing Elly, I felt like I'd found a home, and that was part of the reason I joined Toastmasters, and I got to know Elly better and better through that, and Richard, and was invited to tea, and I got to experience all those interesting little computerized items that Richard likes to share with everyone. And of course, the dreaded Linux machine, his computer. It was just, I felt like I had a family in Elly, and I just wanted to say that she had that warmth that everyone else was talking about. Thank you.
I haven't much to say, except that Elly showed me that you can fall in love with someone the second you meet them. That's it.
Okay. Well, we have a song, and then Heather's going to close out with a prayer. But thank you for the inspiration. Before we close, Krista, would you come up, and Amanda and Shay as well? Please just come up for 1 second. Because we're just going to give you a blessing for the family who so much of you has been inspired by your mom and the beautiful people that you are and all that you've done. So here's a prayer for gratitude, for appreciation, and for just acknowledgement. And you all will join in with me. It's, we love you, we bless you, hold on, I'll say it so everyone knows it. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the presence of God in you, okay? So get your hands together. Lots of energy. Krista, Amanda, Shay, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you. Amen. Amen. Did a great job.
Songs that we shared with Elly last spring.
Hi, I didn't speak before. Oh dear. Elly was also like family. She was one of the many German matriarchs I happened to have in my life, and always greeted me with kindness and love, as she did all of you here and all of you not here. But I went to Unity Church when I was in high school, and this prayer of protection is something actually I just say out of habit to myself to this day when I'm having a moment. So this is something that she and I said together a couple times towards the end of her life, and so now I can't help but think of her when I say it in my mind. And it's the prayer for protection, and I'm going to say it how I also remember it, if that's okay. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And then when I was a kid, we would also say forever and ever, amen. And she said that with me, and that we are saying it now for her. Thank you.
Well, that's sort of the end, but not really, because there's food, and I think there might be a dance, maybe, if we can pull it together. So a special thanks to Nick and Connor for the AV support that you provided. That was great. Bringing in people from around the planet, and Jane and Jim in the booth. Thanks, you guys, so much. And the Women of Unity who showed up and set up tables and set up the coffee and all the food. Thank you, Women of Unity. And for the birds, Marcia and Aaron and Liz for the music. Thank you so much. So we'll take a break now. There's food. There's good coffee, too, as I understand. Yes. And thank you to the family for all the work you did putting it together. And then stay tuned, and we'll see what we can do with this dance. Sound good? Amanda, anything else? Or Krista? Okay. Thank you.